Next, the man in charge of Britain's railways said today there is no alternative to building the controversial £40 billion high-speed rail line.
Network Rail Chief Executive David Higgins says HS2 is the only realistic option to increase capacity on our congested rail system. Here's our transport correspondent, Peter Plisner.
Higher speeds, more capacity and economic growth. That's the promise from high-speed rail, and today saw another major conference, this time designed to transform the way people think about the project. Amongst the hard hitters invited to speak, the head of Network Rail, who maintains that UK PLC simply can't do without high-speed rail.
We're pushing an existing infrastructure well beyond what it was ever designed for. It's like driving a motorway up an A road. We've got freight trains, commuter trains, high speed, all weaving in and out.
We'll build a new network connecting cities and businesses across the UK, creating jobs and opportunities.
Today's conference follows the launch of a major government campaign highlighting the possible growth potential of HS2. One of the leading supporters of the project says it's time to big up the benefits all over again.
What if you're a motorist? Does it do anything for you? It gets lorries off roads. What if you're a commuter and an overcrowded train? Well, it frees up capacity for more services and more seats. So, there are an awful lot of benefits of HS2 that I think have not been grasped.
Today's conference has been taking place at Birmingham's Millennium Point, just yards from one of the proposed HS2 stations. And it's been taking place at a time when there's been a summer of negative stories about the project, and some are questioning whether it'll ever happen. At the end of June, the Department for Transport increased its estimate of the cost of HS2 from 33 to more than £42 billion. Then in August, the Institute of Economic Affairs said the cost could be as high as £80 billion. Later in the month, the Institute of Directors described the project as one grand folly. Then earlier this month, the Public Accounts Committee said the government had not yet presented a convincing strategic case for HS2.
This summer, the number of people who started to agree with what we've been saying all along for 3.5 years has reached enormous levels. It really is time for the government to stop and think again.
But at the moment, that seems unlikely. A special bill designed to clear the way for HS2 is expected to be debated in Parliament at the end of this year.
Well, Peter Plisner joins us now from a site close to the proposed HS2 station in the centre of Birmingham. Peter, where do we go next with this scheme?
Well, Joe, there's still a long way to go, not least public consultations. 2 are underway at the moment. A property consultation into phase 1 of the scheme, that's London to the West Midlands. That's had to be rerun because of the result of a judicial review earlier in the year. And a route consultation into phase 2 is underway. That basically is due to end in January next year. Phase 2 is obviously the bit that goes from the West Midlands north to Leeds and Manchester. And of course, as I said in the film, we've got a hybrid bill due to enter Parliament at the end of the year.
And that parliamentary bill, would that finally give the go-ahead for HS2?
It should do. That'll obviously clear the way for compulsory purchase orders, but there's no public inquiry into HS2. The hybrid bill process completely replaces that. But if the public want to have their say, they can still petition Parliament. But it's a long process. There'll be various readings in both the House of Commons and the House of Lords. There'll be scrutiny by various committees of both houses. It all takes time. And at the moment, royal assent for the hybrid bill is due in 2015. But of course, we have a general election in May, so that will have to happen before May, otherwise this scheme could be delayed.
Peter Plisner, thank you for bringing us the latest.
It's 14 minutes to